Welcome to the Fitness Plus Technology Podcast for club owners, operators, and fitness professionals. Each week, host Bryan O'Rourke brings you an expert interview with a global influencer at the crossroads of fitness and technology. You gain the insights, tools, and inspiration you need to stay connected to the pulse for what matters most for your business in the age of exponential technologies.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the podcast. It's been a great September. I've just gotten back from Europe and meeting with folks over in Spain from around Europe. Fantastic trip, and I'm looking forward to being at the Beyond Active event in New York City, where I'm going to have a great panel talking about innovation in franchising and fitness franchising. I'm also going to be keynoting at the Alloy Personal Training Franchise Convention in Atlanta toward the end of that week, September 19th and 20th. So if you're at any of those events, please stop by and say hello. I look forward to seeing you. I can't believe it's September already. We only have a little over 3 months till 2025. Or can you believe it? I can't. So we have a great guest today, Adam Alfia, who's the founder of Real-Time Feedback. And, you know, today's digital customer, they want to do research about your fitness facility or your brand. And this is a great platform that I've seen in use, and it's quite interesting. And the founder, Adam, has a lot of interesting insights into the adoption of technology, the importance of simplicity, understanding your member experience design, and the things that we should be paying attention to today, along with some of his advice around being a successful entrepreneur in today's business world. So we'll have show notes and links, of course, in the pod for you to reference for the business and for Adam. So I hope you enjoyed the interview with Adam. So without further ado, let's invite him on the podcast. Hello, listeners. Great to see you. As I was saying in the intro, we have Adam Alfia, the founder of Real-Time Feedback. Adam, welcome. We're really glad to have you today.
Thank you, Brian. I'm happy to be here.
Listen, I've been very impressed with your technology, and I'm very interested, along with our listeners, to gain your perspective, given your experience in this arena with what your solutions provide. Before we get into some of the detail around that, as you and I were talking before the recording started, tell us your viewpoint of how customers have changed in a more digital world. What do you think are important to customers today that may not have been that important 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's funny. I think with technology, the biggest change that I've seen is really impatience. A lot of customers now that wouldn't mind making phone calls, filling out surveys, etc. But I think as we become more and more digital, and our cell phones have become an extension of our arm and of our lives, for that matter, you find that more and more people, especially the younger generation, if you can't deliver something quick and easy and make it simple, for me to do in 20, 30 seconds, I don't want to bother with it. As you know, email reading, especially the younger generation, especially for non-business related things, are becoming less and less. The open rate's dropping tremendously, and people want to be communicated in the manner in which they're accustomed to, and that's really right now is text messages. So if you can't communicate with me on that medium, they're really not interested in doing business with you. So really, you've seen that text messages has exploded, and that's the best way. I've got 6 kids, and I can call each one of them, and they don't answer, and they respond, "What do you need?" So with a text message, nobody leaves voicemails or even listens. I tell my kids, "Hey, I left you a voicemail, 2 days ago." And she goes, "I don't listen to voicemails." And even devices are even making it easier where you don't have to listen to the voicemail. It's now transcribed, and they still don't listen to them. Right? They want the quick and easy messages. They all have that ADD personality that if you can't deliver a quick message to me, I'm not interested in reading it.
Yeah, it's very, very true. What do you think about the world of reviews, where I know myself, not only the speed of commerce, you're absolutely right, but also I find myself doing far more reviews of third parties that are like me, giving their feedback on a brand before I'll make a decision about it. How has that impacted business, in your opinion?
I call it the Amazon effect.
Yep.
We're all used to buying on Amazon, and reviews are a big part of that. We'll see an item on Amazon that, only has maybe 50 or 60 reviews, like a 4.2, but then we see something else that has 1,000 reviews and has a 4.5. And even if it's more money, we'll trust that purchase a lot more than the other one because, okay, a lot of people have bought it. A lot of people are giving feedback. So it's giving us really a trust, a mentality where, do I really trust this? And people know that there's fake stuff out there. So really, the reviews, not only quantity but also quality, really go into customers in today's marketplace making informed and decisions that they say, okay, I feel comfortable making that. Matter of fact, we do a lot of insights into what the customer perception is, and really, if your company doesn't have at least a 4.0, whether it's on Google, which is becoming the predominant king of all reviews, but Yelp is still there, unfortunately. They have the open tables of the world, but really Google, if you don't have a 4.0 trust factor on Google, people don't trust you. And really, to get really good trust, it's 4.4 and up, but also have a lot of reviews. So when people see a company that only has, 40, 50, 60 reviews and they've been around a long time, they feel that their customers really not engaged with the brand. So having a lot of reviews makes a lot of difference because everybody's using Google Maps nowadays to get anywhere. And that's the first thing you see is, the review rating, right? So you really want to make sure you have a healthy number of reviews and positive, not to mention responding. It amazes me how many owners of businesses don't just put somebody to respond to reviews, because that not only tells customers, hey, I care about, my customers because I respond to these, but also goes into SEO because Google actually scrapes those responses to help you build better SEO for local search. But it's just good practice. When somebody sends you a note and says something about their experience, good or bad, respond with something, even just a thank you, because all that goes into your social fabric of, of being rated on local search SEO.
You're so right. It's ironic. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. I've come across some brands, very, very well-known brands, who have what you're describing, less than a 4.0, and I see them spending a ton of money on advertising, and and then yet they're not managing their reviews online, and they might as well be lighting piles of cash in the front yard and burning it up because people will go to their site and check them out, and what they're seeing in their ads and what they're experiencing online is completely undermining their ability to convert those customers, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. One of our biggest marketing channel partners is SEO companies, because companies will spend a ton of money on branding, promotion, SEO to get that customer to even notice them. And that customer goes, okay, I'm going to give them a chance. And they put their local business in Google to get there, and they have a terrible rating. So SEO companies that see that they're driving traffic to that brand, but that customer is not converting, a lot of times will bring us in and goes, hey, we have a customer that really needs help. We recently had a conversation with a large company that had an old school mentality person who was in charge of their marketing. And, we did this long presentation, showed them that over 50%, they have probably 800 locations in the country, that more than half of their locations had a sub 3.5 rating on Google with very little reviews. And we're talking about, look, we can get this healthy in a quick manner because you don't have a lot of reviews, so we can get you nice and healthy quick. And then at the end of the conversation, he goes, I love all this. He goes, but we really are concentrating our efforts on NPS. I go, really? I mean, that's what, out of this entire conversation, I'm showing you how customers are giving you bad marks online for everybody to see. And at the end of this, you care about NPS because it's such NPS is old school mentality. Tell me if you're going to recommend your friends and family, on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah, it's nice to have, but really you've got somebody, talking crap about you online that everybody sees. These reviews will never, ever go away. These are what people will see for eternity. You need to make sure that it looks nice when people are, for me, whenever I look at a business, I always go, show me your worst you can sort
Yep.
by by the worst reviews versus the good best ones. I look at the worst ones and I look to see if anybody's responding. If your customers are complaining about something and you don't take the time to respond to those customers, I go, this company doesn't care about their customers.
Absolutely. And, I've talked a lot about in my keynotes in the last year and a half about trust. And you mentioned the term earlier and the need to have transparency and earn trust. If you're not doing that online with your customers, you are telling people something, whether you want to or not, right?
Of course, yeah. Sometimes silence says everything.
Yeah, it really is so true. So, given the reality of what your solution provides, a way of automating this and making it better in fitness in particular, what are some of the barriers? Is it reluctance? Is it technology? What do you think are the barriers to adopting these tools more readily?
A lot of business owners are afraid of change because processes make for a better business. You have to have processes in place, and you have to change. The world's changing faster than ever, especially with AI, and the digital world is here, and you just have to make that. Surveys are dying. Especially the younger generation. Nobody wants to fill out 15 questions, for nothing, right?
Yeah.
So surveys are dying. You got to make it quick and easy. And the thing is that we are unfortunately live in and I hate to use the term Karens, but you see a lot of the times the people that do go online and leave reviews are the people that had bad experiences. You don't
Right.
walk out of a normal business and say, wow, my dry cleaning was great, or wow, my workout was incredible, I'm going to go and leave a review. You most of the time find that people who had bad experiences are the ones that goes, well, they're not really giving me the information or response that I need when I'm complaining face to face or whatever it is. So I'm going to go and blast them online, and that's the kind of people that you get. So what you have to do is really make it super simple. We would call it amplify. You have happy customers, and a bunch of them. 95% of your customers are happy. But how do you amplify their voice and make it super simple for them to leave you a review? And conversely, how do you make it super simple for the people who have problems to have direct line of communication to the manager to resolve that issue? Most people, especially today, will not walk up to somebody and have a face-to-face conversation about something negative. If I have a problem, like I was born in Israel, so my mom always the first one to raise her hand when she had an issue at a restaurant or wherever it is. But most people, like my kids, do it too because they grew up with that. But their friends, turn white or start sweating if my daughter calls up, hey, I need to speak to the manager. What are you doing? He goes, well, we're having a bad experience. The server's crap. I'm going to let the manager know. And they're really shy away from that face-to-face interaction. So what we do is we serve up a really easy way for people, and especially in today's environment, to communicate digitally with a manager and let them know about any issues from I own a fitness facility, and I always bring up, we had an instructor that always had body odor, and we knew it, and we had we told them a couple of times, but it's an uncomfortable conversation, but we had several of our members complain about it, and we showed the instructor, hey, these are what customers are saying, and that really was the turning point for them to understand, okay, our customers are saying it too. But an uncomfortable conversation. But when you can show somebody, hey, this is what customers or members for that matter are saying about their experience with you. Everything else is great. Just fix this one thing. It's a lot easier conversation to do. So really that's what our platform does, is in most of the industries that we support, we're integrated into their processes, into their systems. In the fitness world, for example, with the Mariana Techs of the world, all the other types of member management systems, we're integrated. So once that member finishes a workout, we send them a very simple text that says, hey, Bryan, thanks for visiting XYZ facility. I'm the manager. I would love to know how your experience was today on a scale of 1 to 5. And it takes them to a link with their logo and 5 stars. Very simple. If they hit 5 stars, wonderful. We send them directly to the review platform for that business, and we sprinkle. We don't just do Google. We'll do Google, Facebook, whatever other platform you want. However, if it's less than 5 stars, meaning it wasn't perfect, it opens up a very simple window. We apologize when we give you a 5-star experience. Please tell us specifically what part of your experience we can work on. This will go to a manager that will respond. And then we train the manager. Hey, as these come in, sometimes it's, a conversation you don't want to have because it's an issue about. But, we've built AI that looks at the millions of feedbacks we've gotten. Will recommend it. Doesn't automatically respond because one of the things we found out, nobody wants to have a conversation with a robot. But the system will recommend a well-written response to that complaint. With most of the time, all it is saying is, hey, thanks for letting us know. We've received your feedback. I'm going to have a conversation with my team. We're going to see if we can find a solution that'll resolve that problem. And most people are happy with it. Just give me acknowledgement that you've heard my voice and that you acknowledge that there's an issue. And that's it. Most of the time, that's all you need to do. So,
Adam, you point this out. I think it's such a very important thing because, given this, as you mentioned, and given all the different things that you could do with technology today, and this is my experience, wouldn't you say that a key differentiator amongst platforms or different tools and options is the idea of simplicity? I mean, because some of these tools are so damn complicated to implement, and then they don't get implemented, versus others that are they're very specific, they're designed for ease of adoption, and they're very effective. What do you think about that comment?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of time, we do a lot of industry research about what the competition is doing. And I'll go through their processes, and I have friends and family that goes, hey, I just left a doctor's office and they send me one of this and, one of these review requests. And it's complicated. You have to do so many things and you have to verify. Some of them even have CAPTCHAs where I have to sit there and click on traffic lights. What do you do? Why would you possibly do that?
It's so true. It's so true.
I mean, you're trying to verify. You send me something, I'm trying to respond, and you're trying to verify whether or not I'm a real person. So it's, I'm glad that they're there. It just makes our product shine all that much, all that much more. But simplicity is the key. Do not make it. I always tell my developers, build it as if you're talking to a 3-year-old. If my 3-year-old or 4-year-old daughter can do it, then it's acceptable because people don't have the patience to try to figure out your process.
That's exactly right. And so to that point, given your background working with a lot of businesses and in fitness in particular, so when it comes to this concept, right, user experience design, basic processes, I found that a lot of people don't even really map out the process of simplifying what they're doing. What is some of your advice, general business advice, as to how operators can get started resimplifying or looking at their operations to make them better with tools like yours, for example?
Yeah, so, and back to the user experience, one of the things that we do regularly is we'll get a focus group together in our office. We pay, some people to come out, we buy them lunch, and then we have cameras that are recording their interface, their reaction when they're getting, let's say for the text messages. One of the things that we recently found is that our star system, when they get the text message, was a little high, and they actually had to remove their hand off their phone and push the button. And now we lowered it down so it's within thumb's reach for them to hit those star ratings without having to do more work. And it's increased our engagement by 11% just by making a small little change. One of the things that drives me crazy is that companies don't go through their own processes. As a user, like when you're not at the office, call your front desk and see how they answer from somebody's phone. They don't know it's you, right? And see the level of enthusiasm that people answer the phone with, because that's your first voice. We have a lot of dealerships on our platform, and the first thing I do is when we give them, because we don't just give you a platform. We're more consultants on customer experience. So call every once in a while, call your front desk and see the system that your customers use to get to a service advisor or get to somebody that can tell them about membership plans or anything like that, or send a friend in to go through the membership process and see, what are they telling me? What are they not telling me? And let your friend tell you your honest feedback about what it's like to be a new member in your facility. And people don't do that. You need to walk the shoes of your customers. So, one of the things that we're now building is because, Instagram has become such a vital part of marketing, and customer generated content is becoming king. I can get my customer to record a video and post it on Instagram and tag my business. That's that's gold. So now what we're building is we know who your happy customers are. So now we're beta testing a system that if you gave the business a 5-star rating, then it sends that customer an immediate text message back saying, hey, Bryan, thanks for giving us a 5-star rating. For $10 off your next month's membership, can you record us a 15 to 30-second video and post it on Instagram and tag our facility, and we'll put a credit on your next month, your next month invoice? You would not believe how many people for $10 will give you $1,000 worth of advertising to their friends and family. And now they're promoting your business, just for asking. And people just don't know how to ask. Because you can't say, hey, do me a favor, when they're walking out the gym, record a video, because it's awkward. But if I send you a text message after you left me a 5-star rating, gating you to give me a 15, 30-second plug, it's amazing what people do for you. Sometimes you don't even have to offer any money, just because it's happy members, and they forget to promote the businesses that they love.
Yeah, it's so true. And, it's funny that you've mentioned that, Adam, because in my many years of experience in business, the most successful operators I've ever come to know and work with are the ones that do exactly what you described. They pressure test their user experience all the time, and they're manic almost about those kind of details. And then two, on top of it, they're manic about those details, but they're constantly trying to simplify that experience in a way that people can digest readily. The other thing that you're saying about user-generated content is so true. In all the brands that I'm involved with, we really try to, encourage that and reward it in interactions online in different ways, so that you're thinking about that for your product is just genius. Adam, so you've been an entrepreneur. You've built a very successful company. I've enjoyed getting to know you. We kind of ask this question of all the leaders that come on this pod. What pearls of wisdom, given your experience, would you share with entrepreneurs in today's business environment? What have you learned that you think people should pay attention to, our listeners?
Yeah, I mean, look, the number one thing, and I'm a gambler by nature in all sorts of facets of my life, but take a chance. You cannot be in today's fast-moving world. If you have an idea or you want to try something, just do it. In small, if you own a business and you want to try different things, you have to differentiate yourself. That's the key thing, is what do I do different? If you really want to be a brand that grows, tenfold, 20-fold over the next X amount of years, you really have to be a trailblazer and a differentiator, and always look for the small things that make the difference. Like when we, like I said, I opened up a facility, Neon, and we made sure that, we have the cold towels when you're coming out. It's a small little nuances that don't cost a lot of money. Customer service is free.
Yep.
It's all in the people and the training that you have represent your brand. So just be the best. If you look at other places and the facilities, and you walk in, you see unhappy people behind the desk, you need to train your employees. Always have a smile. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world around them. They always have to have a smile on their face, because it's showtime. They're representing your brand. And do, like I mentioned earlier, do those surprise visits where nobody else knows that you're doing, do the secret shoppers. But, there's companies out there that do that for you, but nothing is better than you doing it yourself, or having friends and family walk in and tell you real information about what their experience is. Because that really, if you get in an environment that you're not teaching how to be kind of like the Disney, always being character type of mentality, you can see how they succeeded, because they want people to walk into their business and smile. Oh, wow, this is a change, because people are happy working here.
Yep. Well, Adam, we're going to have in the show notes all the links for the listeners on real-time feedback. I think it's a very, very effective tool for improving anyone's business, particularly in the fitness space. So we're very excited to have you on the program to share your thinking about what is really a very critical aspect of commerce today, and that is helping user experience and giving people the ability to have visibility, transparent visibility into other customers' viewpoints on your business. Probably the best marketing you could ever do for yourself. I would think that would be fair to say. So we really appreciate you making time, Adam.
All right. Thank you very much, Bryan.
Hello, listeners. This is Bryan O'Rourke, and thanks so much for listening to the Fitness Plus Technology Podcast. The podcast is made possible by the Fitness Industry Technology Council, a consortium of global brands working together to enhance the adoption of technologies in the fitness space. Our company, Videri Ventures, which is invested in Vertimax, Montezuma, Gold's Gym, Houston, Texas, and Fitness 24/7 Thailand, also underwrites the podcast, along with our service companies, Integris Advisors, Moon Mission Media, and others. Please feel free to share this podcast with your colleagues. And if I can be of any assistance to you, don't hesitate to reach out, bryanko'rourke@gmail.com, or find me on any of the major social networks. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.